So here now with me in the studio in New York are Kim and Fred Goldman, the sister and father of Ron Goldman, who was murdered along with Nicole Simpson back in 1994. And we have spoken before. It's good to see both of you back again. Thanks for coming in tonight. So what was your reaction to all of this? Kim, you want to start?
With the parole hearing or with your interview?
With the parole hearing.
I was shocked. I'd never really watched a parole hearing live like that before, so I think I was expecting a little bit more of a scripted procedure on his behalf. I thought that he would be much more methodical in his answers, a little bit more thoughtful, but he was as rambly as ever and as avoiding as ever of the questions that were asked of him. But I guess this is what happens. I mean, this is what victims and survivors go through across the country. So I'm now privy to what that experience is.
Yeah. You know, he talked about wanting to get back to his life, Fred. I just want to play one soundbite from yesterday and get your thoughts on it.
I've missed a lot of time, like 36 birthdays with my children, and I ended up missing their graduation because of it. Right now, I'm at a point in my life where all I want to do is spend time with as much time as I can with my children and my friends.
Fred, what do you think about that?
I think it's a pile of bull. He didn't spend much time with his family when he was out of jail, so now all of a sudden he's going to become the loving father of all time. I don't think so. I don't think it's in his being to be that kind of person. I think he is who he is. He's a thug. He's an abuser, a murderer. He's a liar, narcissistic sociopath. I don't think it's within his ability to be a decent human being. I think he is who he is.
When you watched him yesterday, and he said things like, you know, I've never been a person who's involved in conflict. I've never used a weapon on anybody.
You know,
except for Ron and Nicole.
I mean, I understand that the criminal case and his battery, you know, the domestic violence wasn't allowed to be part of this process in Nevada. But it's hard to ignore that was proven. That was proven in a civil court that he killed Ron and Nicole. We have 911 tapes. The whole world has heard
We played them here last night.
And so what a disrespectful thing to say to Nicole's family and to the mother of his children. She was a domestic violence victim. And how disrespectful to take that approach that his behavior wasn't conflict.
But it's almost as if he's completely blocked that out. I mean, to watch him sitting there, and when everybody else, you know, covering the story and listening at home has the same reaction that you just had.
Right.
Wait a minute. We remember those frantic phone calls from Nicole Simpson. We saw what happened to these poor two young people, your son, your brother. How can you sit there and sort of pretend like, you know, even if he has completely blocked out the murders, the abuse that was well documented by the police, Fred?
Well, it's the same portion of his persona that he doesn't believe that he does anything wrong. I don't know if you remember from years ago, you know, when he was asked with pictures in front of him of handprints on Nicole's throat, bruises on her face. How did it get that way? I don't know. Maybe she walked into my hand, bumped into a door. You know, he never accepts responsibility for anything. Therefore doesn't believe that anything he's ever done is a problem.
Yeah. I mean, given that, do you think that on the outside, what do you expect? You know, you probably try not to spend too much of your time thinking about what OJ Simpson's going to do with his free time when he gets out in October. But do you think he will stay out of trouble? How do you think he owes you guys $33 million? Maybe some of that has been shaved off.
More than that.
More than that. Okay. So if he were to do a reality TV show, what would you expect in terms of reimbursement there, Kim?
We're going to do what we've always done since we were awarded the judgment back in '97. We are going to pursue the judgment because that's what the civil system afforded us as a purpose of punishment.
Right.
So if we don't go after the judgment, then we've given him another free pass. So we're going to continue with our attorneys to pursue that judgment. I don't know that he's going to do that. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on him now, different than maybe it was before. I don't know that I think he's going to commit another crime. I just think that he is not going to shy away from the limelight, like Scotto says, or whatever, Scotto, I don't know his name. I don't think he's capable of that, but now we just have to take a breath and wait and see.
I think he relishes being in the public view. And
We've seen that before.
Yeah, I think that's just part of his persona, and he'll do that again.
Fred Goldman, Kim Goldman, good to see you both after all this time. Thank you very much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.